evening and welcome. This is Primetime News on TV1 for the Newsfirst team. I'm Jayama Ratnayaka. Before we take a look at your headlines for tonight, Newsline will be telecast tomorrow, the 22nd of November at 1 p.m. instead of the usual time slot of 8:30 p.m. Let's now take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Embassy officials deny links to sex trafficking in Oman. Police Commission Chief explains why he visited the airport when Basil Rajapaksa arrived. Sri Lanka police explains why Basil Rajapaksa was given a police escort. Opposition leader speaks on recovering stolen money. England and Iran open today's games at the FIFA World Cup.
In a top story for tonight, the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has decided to make several major changes. The party's Central Committee met earlier today and unanimously decided to take away the party membership of all those who left the party, including former President Chandrika Bandaranayake Kumaratunga. In addition, the SLFP Central Committee has decided to appoint Tilanga Sumathipala as the General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, replacing Mahinda Amaravira. In more news, Sri Lanka's Criminal Investigations Department arrested a woman with links to the sex trafficking ring in Oman after she surrendered to the CID earlier today. She was later released on 2 personal bails worth 300,000 rupees each.
The Human Trafficking, Smuggling and Maritime Crime Investigation Division of the Criminal Investigation Department was hunting for Asha Dissanayake for several weeks for her links to a sex trafficking ring in Oman. The CID said that she had 4 registered addresses and she had gone into hiding as search operations at those premises proved futile. Therefore, the director of the Human Trafficking, Smuggling and Maritime Crime Investigation Division of the Criminal Investigation Department, SSP Samarakon Banda, had deployed 2 teams to locate and arrest her, and thereafter she surrendered to the authorities.
මේ වෙන විට ප්‍රකාශ සටහන් කළා ප්‍රශ්න කිරීම සිදු කරගෙන යනවා. මෙම කාන්තාව ඕමානයේ සිට භාෂා පරිවර්තකයෙක් විදිහට කටයුතු කළා. ඒ රටේ ඉඳගෙන යම් තරව්කාරියෙක් විදිහට කටයුතු කරපු තත්ත්වයක් තමයි දැනට නිරීක්ෂණය වෙන්නේ. නමුත් ප්‍රශ්න කිරීම වලින් පසු ඒ තත්ත්වය වෙනස් වෙන්නට පුළුවන්.
A total of 3 people have been arrested by Sri Lankan authorities for their links to a sex trafficking ring. Unfortunately, many Sri Lankan women who were subject to mental and physical trauma remain in a hostile environment overseas. Nishamali Anuradha, a mother of 3 children from Dambulla, had left Oman in February. She had later fallen ill and sought assistance from the Sri Lankan embassy in Oman. However, she has been living in the embassy safe house for over 4 months. Her 3 children, who don't have care of a father figure, appeal to the authorities to bring their mother back.
Kushan and the others are trying to file cases against us. They say we won't be able to return. We are poor and we come here to earn for our children. Is it fair to file cases against us? My husband said he will take a loan to bring me back. How can I come back and survive with my children? I cannot afford 300,000. We are beaten up by the agencies.
The 3rd Secretary of the Sri Lankan Embassy in Oman, E. Kushan, is alleged to have committed sexual abuse and engaged in the trafficking of Sri Lankan women for sex. On Sunday, the 21st, several former expats visited Newsfirst and exposed startling details, and the said 3rd Secretary of the Sri Lankan Embassy rejected all the allegations as baseless.
While talking, he put his arms around me and I tried to push him away. I told him that this was not what I came for and I came to speak. He said if I stay with him, he would take measures to send me back to Sri Lanka. When I screamed, he became afraid and dropped me at the embassy safe house at around 8:30 p.m. on the 31st of August.
22 8 වෙනි මාසේ 31 රෑ 8 මාරට මාව හරියටම එම්බැසිට ගින් සුරක්ෂා නිවාසයට ගින් දැම්මා මාව.
The third secretary of the Sri Lankan embassy in Oman dismissed these allegations.
Fatima came to Oman in December 2021 using a visit visa via Dubai. She was working under a sponsor and that person had raped her. She escaped and entered our safe house. In March 2022, with 11 other women, she protested and damaged the property. There is a woman called Rasika and she brings women from Sri Lanka on visit visa with no permit or documentation. I reported to the authorities and a fine of 1,000 riyals is imposed. She used other women to publicize the video.
මේකට තරහා හින්දා මේ පොඩි ළමයා එයාව යූස් කරලා මෙයාලා වීඩියෝ එකක් හදනවා. අවකාන්තාවක්වත් කියලා තිබ්බා අවුරුදු 3 මාසක් තිස්සේ අර ලංකාවට දෙන්නත ඔතුමා තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. එයාට මේ ලව් කරන්නේ නැහැ කියලා ඒ වචනේ පාවිච්චි කරලා තිබ්බා. ඒක සම්පූර්ණ අසත්‍යයක්. ඇත්තටම එයාව එයාගේ ස්පොන්සර්ගෙන් දූෂණය වෙන්න හැදුවා. එයා දෙවෙනි ස්පොන්සර්. මේ ඔබතුමාට එල්ලවෙන මේ ලිංගික අතවර සම්බන්ධ චෝදන සම්පූර්ණ පුදව ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරනවා. 100ට කෝටියක්.
I completely reject them and this is an orchestrated incident. I informed the Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment to stop issuing visit visa. I have the letters, but these people are registered with the state and were sent to Oman and Dubai.
register කරලා තමයි දුබායි වලට ඔමාන් වලට කට්ටිය.
වරපතල චෝදනාව තමයි ඔබතුමා මේ ගණිකා වෘත්තියට මේ ලංකා ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ කාන්තාවන් අලෙවි කරනවා කියන චෝදනාව.
කානිකරම අසත්‍යයක්. මම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් සල්ලි වලටවත් කිසිම දෙයකටවත් නම ගන්න බැරි කෙනෙක්.
දැන් වැඩ තහනම් කළාද ඔබතුමාගේ තියෙන්නේ?
වැඩ තහනම් කරයි කියලා මට දන්නව නෑ. නමුත් වැඩ තහනම් කියලා මම මාධ්‍යෙන් දැක්කා.
While investigations into the human trafficking ring in Oman is slow-paced, the chairman of the Police Commission was seen welcoming a former minister at the Bandaranayake International Airport.
The chairman of the National Police Commission, Chandra Fernando, and member MPP Pereira were among the many who were present at the Katunayake Airport to welcome former Minister Basil Rajapaksa, who returned to Sri Lanka after a month. When Newsfirst inquired from the chairman of the National Police Commission on his presence at the BIA to welcome Rajapaksa, this was his response.
I was in Katunayake yesterday. I got some information and I visited the place. That is all. People misinterpret this. I was told there was a group waiting there, so I wanted to see what it was. I am never biased. I have no political affiliations. There can't be a problem with the position I am in. What's more important is how I function in my position. If Madam Chandrika was there, I would have gone there. I heard that some people started a commotion there. I went there to see the truth behind it. I was told a lie. I went inside. There was no commotion. I saw Basil Rajapaksa and exchanged pleasantries with him. We are state workers. If I had seen Ranil Wickramasinghe, I would have spoken to him. A similar situation will happen with Sajith Premadasa, Rajitha Senaratne, Maithripala Sirisena or Sarath Fonseca.
Member of the National Police Commission MPP Pereira said he was aware of Basil Rajapaksa's arrival.
I went there as I heard he will be arriving. I have known him for 15 to 20 years. I visited him because I know him. I went there to welcome him. We have done our duties. We have never been biased towards one side. We have not done anything wrong. We have always independently served the country.
අපි හරි ස්වාධීනව අපි රටට සේවයක් වෙන ආකාරයට අපි සාධිකාරී කරලා තියෙනවා.
The Police Commission is an independent institution. Can these two officials of this institution welcome a national organizer of a political party at the airport? How can we as citizens believe that these institutions are independent anymore? The Independent Police Commission was created in this country to deal with appointments, transfers and promotions of police officers under the 19th Constitutional Amendment. The Independent Police Commission was created to act independently without political interference. That's why the name itself is the Independent Police Commission. Clearly, disciplinary action needs to be taken against Chandra Fernando and this officer named MPP Pereira. They should be removed from these positions.
Several views were expressed regarding the matter in Parliament on Monday.
Honourable Speaker, all of us got together and voted for the 21st Amendment. It clearly states that the commissions must remain independent. I would like to table this CD. The chairman of the Police Commission, Chandra Fernando, and NP Pereira had visited the airport to welcome Basil Rajapaksa. How is this an independent commission? The Speaker must intervene to remove these men from their positions. If not, there will be no point in implementing the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. How can a country function with such commissions? The airport officers managed to keep the crow from flying, but when he returned, the chairman of the Police Commission is going to welcome him. There are some shameless men here as well. Therefore, Honourable Speaker, I urge you to remove these men from the Police Commission. Basil Rajapaksa is not an MP or a Pradeshya Sabha member. How was he allowed to enter via the VIP terminal at the airport? How was a police escort also given to him? How did he get through the VIP terminal? How were police traffic motorbikes given to him? The leader of the house must explain.
බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා ඊ ආපුවෙන්ද මේගොල්ලෝ වියරු වැටලා ඉන්නේ වෙන මොකොත් නෙවෙයි හරි වියරු වැටලා දඟනවා හරි හරි බොහොම ස්තුතියි නඩු ටික ඉවර කරගෙන රට දාලා පැනලා ගියා.
He left the country after finishing his legal matters in court. Today, all the culprits behind the economic crisis are in the country. I saw Gotabaya Rajapaksa visited the birthday celebrations of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa in Hambantota. We saw another culprit, Basil Rajapaksa, in the country. MPs, ministers and state ministers had gone to welcome him without any shame. He is being given police protection. The immigration department, which did not allow him to leave the country, is welcoming him to the country with open arms.
The Citizens' Power Against Bribery and Corruption complained to the Bribery and Corruption Investigation Commission regarding the VIP security provided to Basil Rajapaksa upon his arrival at the Katunayake airport.
Basil Rajapaksa arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday. He is not a Sri Lankan citizen but a foreign citizen. Upon arriving in Sri Lanka at the Katunayake airport, his car bearing CAX 8088. We don't know whether it is his vehicle or the government's, but he was provided a police escort with a traffic police bike in front and a police jeep behind the vehicle. The Sri Lankan police is maintained by public money. What right does the Inspector General of Police have to provide elite security to an ordinary person who is not a citizen of Sri Lanka by spending the country's money? He is betraying the country. Also, the President also should take the responsibility for wasting public funds at a time like this.
A senior police officer stated that the senior superintendent of police in charge of the Negombo division had taken security measures when Basil Rajapaksa arrived. The police said that a large number of people had come in many vehicles to welcome him, so they were deployed at the spot for traffic control. The police said that the security was provided for a distance of almost 1 kilometer from the airport to the Katunayake Expressway. The police disclosed that steps were taken to protect Basil Rajapaksa from any obstructions caused by opponents that could have taken place during his trip back. The police further said that if such a situation of disturbance arose, it is a responsibility of the police to control it, so they took steps to provide security as a preventative measure. Also, the police further stated that since a group of ministers, including MPs, attended the venue, they took measures to provide security to the area.
The United Nations says that around 7 million Sri Lankans are in need of humanitarian assistance.
The latest World Food Programme figures reveal that 32% of Sri Lankan households are now food insecure and 68% of households are turning to food-based coping strategies such as eating less preferred food or reducing the number of meals and portion sizes. UNICEF estimates that approximately 2.3 million children are in need of humanitarian assistance, including 56,000 children suffering from severe acute malnutrition.
Apart from malnutrition, the education of children is also facing serious challenges. The unaffordability of stationery items needed for education has left many children helpless. In recent days, Newsfirst revealed as to how the cess tax increased through the budget resulted in exorbitant prices of stationery items, including school books.
දෙමාපියන්ට මම හිතේ දරා ගන්න අමාරුයි. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් පොත් ලිස්ට් එකක් රුපියල් 4500න් ඉවර කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ සැරේ මම හිතේ 15000ක් විතර යයි.
What is the reason behind the unusual increase in the price of exercise books? Was it the cess tax? Or was it because of some other reason? Did the cess tax amendment affect the prices of stationery? The cess tax on multiple goods were increased via the budget, and the cess for stationery items under Customs Code 48.20 were increased by 100%. After the country faced a dollar crisis on the 17th of November 2020, the cess tax imposed on books and stationery items was drastically increased to discourage imports. A tax of 35% on the value of the relevant product, or 125 rupees per kilogram on the weight of the product, whichever is higher, was levied. According to this year's budget proposals, from the 14th, the tax levied on the weight of the product was increased by 100% from 125 rupees to 250 per kilogram, while the 35% tax on the value of the product remained the same. Accordingly, taxes on books and stationery items imported under the said customs codes have increased. The question is, how did the cess tax affect the stationery items that have already been imported and stored? Isn't this giving an opportunity for some to make exorbitant profits by selling stationery items after changing the prices? Who is supposed to regulate these matters?
Meanwhile, the second reading of the budget took place for the sixth day today.
For the past 2 months, the sugar scam cost the state a revenue of 48 billion rupees. Certain politicians and officials dislike the tobacco tax being imposed. These officials and politicians are being controlled by the Tobacco Corporation. In the recent past, 5 forensic audits revealed scams within the EPF, bond market and the stock market. All the details are out in the open, but justice is yet to be served. Those who were complicit in these scams were unable to take up the post of the central bank governor once more. Now, there are moves to swindle money from the ETF to establish a health insurance. We would like to state, under a government led by the Samaga Jana Balawege, we will enact all recommendations of the 5 forensic audits to recover the stolen and lost wealth. No matter how many welfare schemes exist in our country, 58% of impoverished communities in Sri Lanka do not benefit from them. It has also been mentioned in the World Bank's reports. A survey on poverty in the country has not been conducted since 2019. Short-sighted decisions and policies led to the country's bankruptcy. The country did not go bankrupt. It was made to go bankrupt.
Before moving ahead with the bulletin, we wish to bring to your attention some scheduling changes in terms of News First programs. Newsline will be telecast tomorrow, that is Tuesday the 22nd of November at 1 p.m. on TV1, and the People's Platform will be telecast on Wednesday the 23rd at 5:30 p.m. on TV1. With that, we cross over for a short commercial break. Stay tuned to News First. Welcome back to the news. Taking a look at some sports news. The 2022 FIFA World Cup kicked off in grand style in Qatar last night, with the curtain raise of the showpiece event taking place between hosts Qatar and Ecuador. The match ended 2-0 in favour of Ecuador, handing Qatar's World Cup campaign a nightmare start. In today's round of matches, England took on Iran, while Netherlands will take on Senegal at 9:30 p.m. Sri Lankan time tonight, while the United States will lock horns with Wales at 12:30 a.m. thereafter. Meanwhile, England claimed a comfortable win over Iran a short while ago with a thumping 6-2 victory. All matches of the 2022 FIFA World Cup will be aired live on TV1 as the MTV-MBC network, the champion network, is geared up to bring the exhilarating action of football's grandest event to your screen. And with that, it's a wrap of Primetime News on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Jamal Ratnayaka. Take care and good night.